Okay, this is Mr. Renfro. Today we're going to learn how to find the circumference of a circle. The definition of a circumference is the distance around a circle. The total distance around the circle. Now, I didn't trace that circle too good, but you get the idea. The circumference is the distance around a circle. It's kind of similar to perimeter of a rectangle. It's how far it is around the circle, whereas a rectangle perimeter is the distance around the rectangle. So today we're going to learn how to find the circumference of a circle. And the way we do that is we use two formulas. And these two formulas are, and they're up here at the top in the right-hand corner, is circumference, which is what the C stands for, is equal to 2 times pi times r. Okay, that's one formula. The other formula is circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Now, in order to find the circumference of a circle, we must either have a radius or a diameter. And I've given you a circle that has, what is this? 4 feet? Is that a radius or a diameter? That's right, it's a diameter. And so we have to choose, based on this diameter, which of these two formulas we'll use. Now, that has a D in it. So that's common sense, is we're going to use that formula to solve the distance around this circle. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this formula. Okay, so circumference equals, what is pi? The abbreviation for pi, or the abbreviated pi, because pi is an irrational number, it goes on forever. In math, we abbreviate pi to 3.14 times, what is the diameter of this circle? 4 feet. Okay. Now, when we multiply this on a calculator, we'll have 3.14 times 4 equals 12.56 feet. That is the distance around this circle. The distance is always going to be a little more than 3 times the diameter. So that is the answer. Your final answer is 12.56 feet. That is the distance around the circle. Let's try another one using a circle with a diameter. Okay. With this circle, we have a diameter of 12 centimeters. So again, this is a D. So we're going to use the D formula for circumference. So when we do that, we write down the formula first. C equals pi times diameter. Then we fill in what these things mean in the formula. What is pi? 3.14 times, what is the diameter given in this circle? 12 centimeters. And when we calculate that on our calculator, we will get an answer of 37 and 68/100 centimeters. That is the distance around this circle, and 37. 36 is exactly 3 times 12, and we know that our circumference has to be a little more than 3 times the diameter. So that's a good way to double check yourself. 37 is a little more than 36. So that's a good way to check yourself. So the distance around this circle is 37 and 68/100 centimeters. Now, the next circle that I'm given is not a diameter again anymore. So I can't use this formula because this is an R. So I have to use the formula that has an R in it. And my smartboard is just a little off on my orientation. So let's try that again. We have to use the formula with the R in it, and it's still a little off. No laughing. Okay, so it's a little off. So There's the R. Okay. All right, we have to use this formula. So write down the formula first. C equals 2 times pi times R. C is circumference. Circumference is equal to 2 times, what is pi? 3.14. What is R in this circle? 3 inches. So once we have that, all we need to do is multiply these three numbers. 2 times 3.14 times 3, and you get 18 and 84 inches around the circle. And if you doubled that, the diameter would be 6, right? And shouldn't it be a little more than 18? And the answer is a little more than 18. Okay, so very good. Last problem, we're going to do a radius again. All right, which one are we going to use? Are we going to use the formula with a D or with an R? Well, we're given an R. So we are not going to use this formula. So we write down the formula we'll use to find the circumference. Circumference equals 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times the radius, which is 8. We'll work that out on our calculator. 2 times 3.14 times 8 equals, and the final answer is 50 and 24 centimeters. So the distance around this is 50 and 24 hundredths centimeters around this entire circle. And if you had doubled this, that would have been 16 centimeters. 16 times 3 is 48, and 50 is a little more than 48. So that makes sense that, you know, our circumference always has to be a little more than 3 times our diameter. Okay. Lastly, pi. Let's talk about pi a second. Pi is abbreviated, we say, to 3.14. Okay, there is a ratio that we need to remember for pi. Okay, and that is pi is equal to circumference over the diameter, or circumference to the diameter. Whenever we get a circumference, in this case, the circumference was 50.24. And if we divide that by the diameter, which the diameter for this circle would be 16 if we doubled that radius. When we divide that, that's going to be equal to 3.14. Pi is always equal to the circumference divided by the diameter. So I hope this is helpful. If you're having trouble, watch it again and let me know what you think.